हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम पढ़ेंगे टॉपिक फोटोसिंथेसिस इन हायर प्लांट्स। सो फोटोसिंथेसिस होता क्या है, ये हम बहुत सिक्स क्लास से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं। सो फोटोसिंथेसिस दो वर्ड से बना है। फोटो मीन वर्ड आया फोटोन से, जिसका मतलब है लाइट, एंड सिंथेसिस टू मैन्युफैक्चर। सो इट इज द प्रोसेस बाय विच the green plants synthesize their own organic food from carbon dioxide and water by utilizing energy from sunlight, and this energy is captured by chlorophyll. अब यहां पर एक वर्ड आता है एनाबॉलिक प्रोसेस। एनाबॉलिक क्या होता है? सो बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस जिसको हम मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस कहते हैं, इसमें हमारी दो तरह की प्रोसेस होती है, एनाबॉलिक एंड कैटाबॉलिक। एनाबॉलिक जहां पर रॉ मटेरियल मिला के एक प्रोडक्ट बनता है, और कैटाबॉलिक जहां पर एक प्रोडक्ट दो या दो से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट में ब्रेक होता है। सो फोटोसिंथेसिस का की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? फर्स्ट, इट इज अ प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ फूड, एंड सेकंड, इट रिलीज ऑक्सीजन टू द एटमॉस्फेयर। बिफोर स्टार्टिंग फोटोसिंथेसिस हम उससे रिलेटेड कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट पढ़ते हैं, और इसमें सबसे पहला नाम आता है जोसेफ प्रिस्टले का, जिन्होंने बेल जार एक्सपेरिमेंट किया यूजिंग अ बेल जार, कैंडल एंड माउस। He took a bell jar and placed a candle and a mouse in the jar. And after some time, he observed that the candle get extinguished, and also the mouse dies due to suffocation. He concluded that the burning candle or animal that breathed this air present in the bell jar both somehow damage the air. In the series of experiment, next time he placed a mint plant in the same bell jar. To his surprise, neither the candle get extinguished nor the mouse get died. So he put forward a hypothesis that the plant restore the air whatever breathing animal and burning candles removed. But he was not sure कि ये एयर कौन सी है, या ये एयर का कौन सा कंपोनेंट है। Next experiment is of Jen Ingenhouse. He showed that sunlight is essential for the plant process that purify the foul air. उन्होंने कहा कि सनलाइट जरूरी है प्लांट प्रोसेस के लिए जो इस एयर को प्यूरिफाई कर रहा है, एंड ही परफॉर्म्ड एक्सपेरिमेंट यूजिंग अ हाइड्रोफाइट और एन एक्वेटिक प्लांट। सो उन्होंने दिखाया कि जब ब्राइट सनलाइट में प्लांट को रखते हैं तो स्मॉल बबल्स इवॉल्व होते हैं, बट अगर हम इसे डार्क में रख देते हैं तो बबल्स इवॉल्व नहीं होते। बाद में उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि जो बबल्स आ रहे हैं दे आर ऑफ ऑक्सीजन। वो किसके हैं? ऑक्सीजन के। देन जूलियस वॉन सैक proved that plant produce glucose while growing and they store them as starch. Next experiment was of T.W. Engelmann, who split the light using a prism into 7 colors, and these 7 colors are Vibgyor. He performed the experiment using green alga Cladophora, which was placed in a suspension of aerobic bacteria. These bacteria were used to detect the site of oxygen evolution. He observed that the bacteria accumulate mainly in the region of blue and red light, and hence they explain the absorption spectra of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Then Cornelius van Niel, he did experiment with purple and green bacteria and demonstrated that photosynthesis is a light dependent process. उन्होंने डेमोस्ट्रेट किया कि फोटोसिंथेसिस जो है वो लाइट डिपेंडेंट प्रोसेस है। He explained that the hydrogen from water reduce CO2 to carbohydrate. He also proposed that oxygen evolved during photosynthesis comes from water, not from the carbon dioxide. but this was proved by Rubin and Kamen. They proved experimentally by using radioactive oxygen in water that the oxygen evolved during photosynthesis comes from water, not from the carbon dioxide. Now, next question is, what is the site of photosynthesis? We know photosynthesis takes place only in the green part of the plant, and mostly it is in the leaves. Within the leaves, there are mesophyll cells which contain chloroplast, and the chloroplast is the actual site of photosynthesis where the photosynthesis takes place. चलो हम देखते हैं अब structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast is a double membranous structure. It has two membranes. One is outer membrane, then there is inner membrane. Inner to this there is a matrix, and the matrix is known as stroma. जो matrix है इसको हम stroma कहते हैं. Then there are numerous tube-like structure, and these are called thylakoids. इनको हम क्या कहते हैं? Thylakoids. At some regions, these thylakoids are staked like coins over each other. And these staked thylakoids are known as grana. While at other portions, they are unstaked, and we call them stroma lamellae. Apart from this stroma and grana and the matrix called stroma, there are ribosomes, starch granules, and lipid droplets. These chloroplasts contain the photosynthetic pigments, that is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, carotenoids, and other pigments that help in capturing the solar energy. And this energy is utilized during the photosynthesis. Next is pigments involved in photosynthesis. So the main pigment that is involved in photosynthesis is chlorophyll. और अभी तक आपने सिर्फ क्लोरोफिल ही सुना है. सो फर्स्ट इज क्लोरोफिल ए. Chlorophyll A is bright or blue green in chromatography, and it is the major pigment that act as a reaction center. Reaction center जो सनलाइट से एनर्जी को कैप्चर और ट्रैप करने में हेल्प करता है, एंड लेटर ऑन दिस एनर्जी इज यूटिलाइज्ड टू कन्वर्ट इनटू केमिकल एनर्जी. Apart from chlorophyll A, there is chlorophyll B. And difference क्या होता है chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B में? So chlorophyll A and B have a tetrapyrrole head. एक tetrapyrrole ring का head होता है. And then there is phytol tail. The chlorophyll A has CH3 group at third carbon atom of second pyrrole ring, while at the same position in case of chlorophyll B there is CHO group, and this chlorophyll B, it is yellowish green in color. Apart from this, there is xanthophyll, which is yellowish in color, carotenoids, which again range from yellow to yellow orange. These carotenoids, they are accessory pigment that absorb light in mid region of visible spectrum. The blue and red region of spectrum, they show the highest rate of photosynthesis. So सबसे ज्यादा photosynthesis कहाँ होता है? Blue and red region में. Accessory pigments. Accessory pigments are light absorbing compound that are found in photosynthetic organism, and they work in conjunction with chlorophyll A, which is the primary pigment. These accessory pigment include chlorophyll B in case of green algae, higher plant antennae, while in other algae they include chlorophyll C and D, etc. The next is phycobilins. They are another group of photosynthetic pigment and they are found in green algae and cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria को हम दूसरा कहते हैं ब्लू ग्रीन algae. ब्लू ग्रीन algae. They are protein linked pigments. ये प्रोटीन के साथ लिंक्ड होते हैं and are called, these proteins are called phycobilin रेड एल्गी में ये फाइकोबिलिन जो होते हैं दे आर कॉल्ड फाइकोएरिथ्रिन, जबकि साइनोबैक्टीरिया और ब्लू ग्रीन एल्गी में दे आर ब्लू कलर्ड एंड नोन एज फाइकोसाइनिन. क्लोरोफिल की तरह फाइकोबिलिन्स में भी टेट्रापाइरोल हेड होता है, बट दे डू नॉट कंटेन मैग्नीशियम एंड फाइटोल चेन. इनमें फाइटोल चेन और मैग्नीशियम नहीं होता है. They are found in submicroscopic structure called phycobilisome, which are attached to thylakoids. They also harvest the light energy, which is not directly utilized but transferred to chlorophyll A, similar to carotenoids, which are accessory pigments. So phycobilins are also accessory pigments. Now we study photosynthesis. फोटोसिंथेसिस की दो स्टेप होती हैं. द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज कॉल्ड लाइट रिएक्शन दैट अकर इन ग्रेना. ग्रेना क्या था? द स्टेक्ड थाइलाकोइड्स प्रेजेंट इन द क्लोरोप्लास्ट. ड्यूरिंग द लाइट रिएक्शन द लाइट एनर्जी इज ट्रैप्ड एंड they synthesize ATP and NADPH. The second part of photosynthesis is dark reaction. Actually, it is not dark. ऐसा नहीं कि night में होती है, but it is light independent reaction. Light independent reaction. It does not utilize light energy directly. So this reaction is called dark reaction, and it occur in the stroma. Stroma क्या है? Matrix of the chloroplast. And during the dark reaction, this phase is also known as biosynthetic phase. The CO2 is reduced to produce carbohydrate. Now we will study each light reaction and dark reaction in detail. So first, what is light reaction? It is the process which takes place in the presence of light only. ये सिर्फ light में ही होती है और location क्या है इसकी? ग्रेना. द लाइट रिएक्शन, और इसको हम फोटोकेमिकल फेज भी कहते हैं. इसमें क्या क्या होता है? फर्स्ट देयर इज लाइट एब्जॉर्प्शन, देन देयर इज स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ वाटर, और दूसरा नाम इसका क्या है? फोटोलाइसिस ऑफ वाटर. देन देयर इज इवोल्यूशन ऑफ ऑक्सीजन. जो इवोल्यूशन होता है ऑक्सीजन का, जो हम फोटोसिंथेसिस के रिएक्शन में देखते हैं ऑक्सीजन इवोल्व होती है, दैट इवोल्व ड्यूरिंग द लाइट रिएक्शन. And then formation of high energy compound like ATP and NADPH. It involves several complex and the pigments which are organized into two discrete photochemical light harvesting complex. और इनको हम light harvesting complex को हम कहते हैं photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. So this is the light harvesting complex. Here you find hundreds of pigment molecule which are bound to protein within the photosystem 1 और photosystem 2. हर एक photosystem में ये pigment protein से bound होते हैं except one molecule of chlorophyll A which form a light harvesting system. Photosystem 1 absorb maximum light at 700 nanometers, which is far red light. While photosystem 2, the chlorophyll A absorb maximum light at 680 nanometer, which is in the red region of spectrum. Now we see certain difference between photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. The photosystem 1 absorb longer wavelength in the far red region, that is around 700 nanometer. While photosystem 2, it absorbs slightly shorter wavelength, that is in red region around 680 nanometer. The location of these two systems is totally different. The photosystem 1 is present on the outer surface of thylakoid, while photosystem 2 is present on the inner surface of the thylakoid. The photocenters are different, P700 for PS1 and P680 for the photosystem 2. Photosystem 1 is involved in both cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, while photosystem is involved only in the cyclic photophosphorylation. Photolysis does not occur on photosystem 1, while it occurs only on the photosystem 2. So next step is electron transport system. In electron transport system, here is the PS2, photosystem 2, and the reaction center is P680. When it absorbs the photon energy comes from the light, the electron get excited, and these electrons are accepted by the primary acceptor, and primary acceptor is ferredoxin. Then these electrons pass through electron transport system consist of cytochromes, and these passing of electron is downhill. It is in the downhill direction, downhill in term of redox potential. Finally, these electrons are accepted by PS1. PS1, which has the reaction center P700. It again get energy from photons, and electrons are again excited, which are accepted by the electron acceptor, and finally these electrons reach to NADP, which convert into NADPH. The electron which are now released from photosystem 2, they are recovered from the photolysis of water. So photolysis of water takes place only on the photosystem 2. Because this is in Z shape, this is also known as Z scheme. Splitting or photolysis of water. Electron required for electron transport systems is fulfilled by splitting of water. As this splitting of water is derived through photon energy, it is also known as photolysis associated with photosystem 2. The photosystem 2 lose electron continuously and filled up by the electron released due to photolysis of water. So water is split into hydrogen ion, oxygen, and electron in the presence of light, and manganese ion and chloride ion. This also create oxygen, the byproduct of photosynthesis. Photolysis takes place in the vicinity of photosystem 2. So this is the reaction of photolysis of water. Next is photophosphorylation. Phosphorylation क्या होता है? Phosphorylation is addition of phosphate group, and it normally takes place inside the mitochondria and chloroplast. While photophosphorylation is slightly different, here the synthesis of high energy chemicals like ATP and NADPH in the presence of light. The energy comes from the light. So photophosphorylation is of two types, cyclic or non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So as you can see, this is the cyclic photophosphorylation. Electron released from the photosystem 1 go to a primary acceptor of electrons, pass through the electron transport system and return back to the photosystem itself. So this is in a cyclic shape. It is known as cyclic photophosphorylation. Non-cyclic photophosphorylation is because it is Z shape, it is also known as Z scheme. इसको Z scheme भी कहते हैं. ये हमने अभी पहले डिस्कस किया था. Now there are certain difference between cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. As the name suggests, cyclic photophosphorylation, it is in circular pattern, while in non-cyclic it is in zigzag position, or we also call it Z scheme. In cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 photosystem 1 works, but in case of non-cyclic, there is photosystem 2 as well as photosystem 1. It happens in the stroma lamellae because in this region PS2 and NADP reductase enzymes are absent, while PS2 and PS1 are found in the grana. Hence, this process takes place in the grana. Cyclic photophosphorylation result into formation of ATP, while in case of non-cyclic photophosphorylation, there is synthesis of ATP and NADPH. The photolysis of water and evolution of oxygen does not take place in the cyclic photophosphorylation, but both photolysis of water and oxygen evolution takes place in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Now there is a theory called chemiosmotic hypothesis. This chemiosmotic hypothesis explains the mechanism of ATP synthesis, which is linked to development of proton gradient across the membrane of thylakoid. Hence, these protons accumulate inside the membrane, or we call lumen of the thylakoids. These protons that are produced by splitting of water, when they accumulate within the membrane of thylakoid or lumen, they generate a proton motive force. The NADPH reductase enzyme, which is located in the stroma side of membrane, along with the electron from acceptor, it removes proton from the stroma during reduction of NADPH. This creates a proton gradient across the thylakoid membrane, which can be measured decrease in pH of the lumen. The ATPase has a channel that allows diffusion of proton back to the stroma, and this release energy to activate ATPase enzyme that is catalyze the formation of ATP from ADP. Next is how this ATP and NADPH is used. ATP, NADPH and oxygen are product of light reaction. Oxygen is diffused out of the chloroplast, while these ATP and NADPH, they are used during the dark phase of the photosynthesis, that is known as biosynthetic phase of photosynthesis. This process does not directly depend upon the light, but it is depend upon the product of light reaction, and these products are ATP and NADPH beside carbon dioxide and water. So Melvin Calvin, who worked with radioactive carbon C14, studied algal photosynthesis, and he discovered that there is a cycle where the first stable product is a 3 carbon compound, and this was 3-phosphoglyceric acid or PGA. This later on this complete pathway was deciphered and came to known as Calvin cycle, or because the first stable compound was 3 carbon compound, it is also known as C3 pathway. Later on, further discovery by scientists led to into discovery of another pathway where the first stable compound was a 4 carbon compound, oxaloacetic acid, and this pathway came to known as C4 pathway. Now we study C3 pathway and C4 pathway in detail. So first we start with C3 pathway. This cycle is also known as Calvin cycle, named after the Melvin Calvin, who discovered this pathway. It occur in all photosynthetic plant. That means it occur in C3 plant as well as C4 plant. The primary acceptor in this cycle is a 5-carbon compound, that is ribulose biphosphate, or RUBP. There are 3 stages in Calvin cycle. The first step is called carboxylation, second is reduction, and third is regeneration. So this is the cycle of C3 plants, which is known as C3 cycle or Calvin cycle. The first step is carboxylation. Carboxylation, where CO2 is fixed to create a first stable compound. The acceptor is ribulose 1,5-phosphate, and the reaction is catalyzed by RUBP carboxylase. But this RUBP carboxylase has also oxygenation capacity. So this is known as Rubisco. RUBP carboxylase oxygenase. So this enzyme is known as Rubisco. The first stable compound formed is a 3-phosphoglycerate, which is a 3-carbon compound. Next step is reduction, where a series of reaction leads to formation of glucose, and this involve utilization of ATP, 2 molecule of ATP, and 2 molecule of NADPH for reduction of 1 molecule of CO2. The fixation of 6 molecule of CO2 will result into formation of 1 glucose molecule. The last step of C3 cycle is regeneration, where RUBP or ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate is regenerated utilizing 1 molecule of ATP for regeneration of RUBP. So for every CO2 molecule entering in Calvin cycle, there is consumption of 3 molecule of ATP and 2 molecule of NADPH. एक molecule CO2 के लिए fixation में there is consumption of 3 ATP and 2 NADPH. और अगर हम देखें for 1 molecule of glucose, so glucose require fixation of 6 molecule of CO2. That means it require 18 molecule of ATP and 12 molecule of NADPH. Now next is C4 pathway. C4 pathway is found in plants which are adapted to dry tropical regions. Their first stable compound is a 4-carbon compound, oxaloacetic acid. Although they have C3 cycle, but Calvin cycle is not their main biosynthetic pathway. Further, they have a special leaf anatomy that help them to tolerate high temperature. They show a response to high intensity, and they lack a process called photorespiration. That's why they have greater productivity in terms of biomass. The spatial anatomy in the leaf is called Kranz anatomy. In their case, the bundle sheath cells are present around the vascular bundle, and their bundle sheath cell may form several layers around the vascular bundle and have large number of chloroplasts. They are thick-walled, impervious to gaseous exchange, and there is no intercellular space. The C4 pathway is also known as H and Slack pathway and is again a cyclic process. In C4 plant, there are two types of tissue involved. One is mesophyll cell, another is bundle sheath cell. The process starts in mesophyll cell where the CO2 is accepted by a primary acceptor. And here the primary acceptor is a 3-carbon compound, phosphoenol pyruvate. and the reaction is catalyzed by phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase or PEP carboxylase. The mesophyll cell do not have rubisco. The C4 acid or oxaloacetic acid is formed in the mesophyll cell, which then forms other 4 carbon compound like malic acid or aspartic acid. These malic acid are transported or aspartic acid are transported to the bundle sheath cell. In the bundle sheath cell, this 4 carbon acid, malic acid, is broken down into carbon dioxide and a 3 carbon molecule. The 3 carbon molecule is transported back to mesophyll cell where it converts into PEP again, thus completing the cycle. And the CO2 released in the bundle sheath cell enter into C3 cycle or Calvin cycle. So bundle sheath cell are rich in enzyme rubisco, but they lack PEP carboxylase. Thus the basic pathway that result into formation of sugar is Calvin cycle. It is common to both C3 as well as C4 pathway. So this is the cycle representing the C4 cycle. There are two type of cell, mesophyll cell and bundle sheath cell. The cycle starts from mesophyll cell where the atmospheric carbon dioxide is accepted by phosphoenol pyruvate, and this reaction is catalyzed by PP carboxylase. Then they form a 4 carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid, which is further converted into malic acid, and this malic acid is transported to the bundle sheath cell where it is broken down into a 3 carbon acid and CO2 is released. These CO2 go into Calvin cycle and forms glucose, while the C3 cycle is transported back and help in regeneration of phosphoenol pyruvate. So this pathway is C4 pathway, and it is also known as H and Slack pathway present in C4 plants. At last, we will study the factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis. The external factors which affect photosynthesis include sunlight, availability of sunlight, temperature, CO2 concentration, and water. So Blackman in 1905 proposed a law is known as law of limiting factor. It says that if a chemical reaction is affected by more than one factor, अगर एक कोई chemical reaction एक से ज्यादा factor से affect होती है, then its rate, उसका rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to minimal value. जो सबसे कम वैल्यू में प्रेजेंट होगा वो उस प्रोसेस के रेट को डिसाइड करेगा, एंड इट इज द फैक्टर विच डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट द प्रोसेस इफ द क्वांटिटी इज चेंज. अगर हम इसकी क्वांटिटी चेंज करें तो ये डायरेक्टली प्रोसेस को अफेक्ट करता है. सो फर्स्ट factor which affect the rate of photosynthesis is light. Light both quantitatively and qualitatively affect the rate of photosynthesis. At low intensity of light, there is linear relationship between the incident light and carbon fixation. लेकिन अगर हाई इंटेंसिटी है लाइट की, द रेट डज नॉट शो फर्दर इंक्रीज बिकॉज अदर फैक्टर बिकम लिमिटिंग. तो जब लो लाइट इंटेंसिटी है, लाइट इंटेंसिटी कम है, तो ये डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट करती है रेट ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस को. लेकिन अगर हम लाइट को ज्यादा कर दें तो फिर ये डायरेक्ट अफेक्ट नहीं करती क्योंकि उसमें दूसरे फैक्टर इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं. इंक्रीज इन इंसिडेंट लाइट बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट रिजल्ट इनटू ब्रेकडाउन ऑफ क्लोरोफिल. जब हम लाइट को बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ा देते हैं तो वो फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन कर देते हैं क्लोरोफिल मॉलिक्यूल का, और वहां पर फोटोसिंथेसिस का रेट रिड्यूस हो जाता है. सो दिस वाज क्वांटिटेटिवली. अगर हम क्वालिटेटिव की बात करें तो हमने पहले भी पढ़ा है दैट photosynthesis occur maximum in blue red region. So qualitatively also the light affect the rate of photosynthesis. It occur maximum in blue and red light region but occur minimum in the green region because chlorophyll minimally absorbs the green light. Next is carbon dioxide concentration, and it is one of the major limiting factor. It is to be remember that carbon dioxide is very low concentration present in the atmosphere, that is around 0.03 to 0.04%. Increase in concentration up to 0.05% can increase the carbon fixation. बट अगर हम इससे और ज्यादा ले जाते हैं that will have damaging effect. Now temperature. अब टेम्परेचर का बायोलॉजिकल रिएक्शंस में हमेशा रोल होता है बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द बायोलॉजिकल रिएक्शन आर catalyzed by enzymes, and enzymes are very specific for temperature and they become inactive at higher or lower temperature. So dark reaction temperature से ज्यादा कंट्रोल होती है, while light reaction is also sensitive to temperature but to a much lesser extent. The C4 plant have a much higher temperature optimum, वो ज्यादा टेम्परेचर को के लिए adapted है as compared to C3 plant. The temperature optimum for a particular plant also depend upon natural habitat. So tropical plant have a higher temperature optimum than the temperate plants. And the last but not least, water. The effect of water is more on the plant rather than directly on the photosynthesis. So during the water stress, it result into closing of stomata, और stomata close हो जाएंगे तो CO2 नहीं मिलेगा, and CO2 नहीं मिलेगा तो definitely it will reduce the photosynthesis. Water stress also lead to wilting of the leaves. Wilting of leaves means reduced surface area and reduced metabolic activity or photosynthesis. So we study about the photosynthesis in higher plant. It's two-part, light reaction and dark reaction. Further, in light reaction, there is cyclic photophosphorylation and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, while in dark reaction, there is C3 and C4 cycle. At last, we study the various factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis in the plant. So, that's all about this topic. Thank you.